Hey everyone, my name is Malika and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my video once again. We got a very special guest with us today again, the hubby Patrick.
Hey everyone, how you doing out there? Hope you're enjoying the warm weather that we're finally getting.
So for this video, we're actually going to be doing a story time. I don't know what I'm going to name the story time because it was actually Patrick and I's first time going on vacation together. We weren't married, we weren't engaged yet. It was Patrick's first time experiencing a pain crisis, my pain crisis.
First time.
And it was also my first time experiencing a pain crisis out of town, out of state. So there's a lot of firsts here. So this happened a few years ago. Patrick and I planned to visit my mother in New Mexico because a few years ago she did move down there, and we was like, you know, we wanted to see her, we want to give her a big surprise, so we went to surprise her for Thanksgiving. So we get down there, we actually end up getting down there the day after Thanksgiving, but the trip just to get to New Mexico was pretty long and draining. It wasn't like a 15 or 16 hour flight, but it was about 4 hours from New York to Texas, then like a 2-hour layover, then maybe like a 2 or 3 hour plane ride from Texas to New Mexico. Then at that time for Thanksgiving, my mother was staying at a friend's house. So from her friend's house to my mother's house in Deming, she lived about 3 hours away from there. So that was additional 3 hour, you know, travel time. So that was just really tiring, really draining for us. And then yeah, so that happened on Friday. The next day is Saturday now. My mother is a Seventh-day Adventist, so she goes to church on Saturdays. Now, we didn't go to church with her. We ended up actually just going to breakfast because we were just so tired from, you know, all that traveling from the day before. So we went to breakfast. My mother ended up, you know, coming home after church and decided to take us sightseeing, visiting a few friends. What else? Sightseeing, visiting a few friends. We went to the bowling alley and whatnot. So karaoke, we did all those things that day. So it was around when we went bowling. Was bowling after the City of Rocks?
Yeah, it was that.
Okay. So we went to this place called the City of Rocks. And it's actually like kind of up in the mountains, kind of like in a higher altitude in New Mexico. So after that we went bowling and I started experiencing a little pain in my back, but it wasn't that bad, and it's something that I just ignored and just didn't really pay attention to. So I just cared about, you know, having fun, going karaoke. So we get home that night now. It's probably 7, 8 o'clock at night after doing all those things. And then I started getting this pain in my leg while we're laying down. You know, I'm laying on the couch, Patrick's in the living room, you know, with me, and we're watching TV, and I just started getting this pain in my leg. And from this pain in my leg, I noticed that it felt like a sickle cell crisis. And the thing about it is that sickle cell crisis, when you go through it, it's like, you know, the pain. So I knew it was a sickle cell crisis pain, but it just wasn't bad yet.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, let me cover myself up in the blankets because it was in November. It was pretty cold down there and whatnot. So I did that. That didn't really work. So I go to my mom now. I didn't even tell Patrick yet, but I go to my mom and I was like, Mom, you know, I think I need to go to the hospital because it was getting, you know, the pain was just getting more intense and intense and intense. So she was like, you know, don't go to the hospital yet. Try and do some self-care, you know, some at-home self-care things for sickle cell, which is like using a warm compress, soaking my legs in hot water, things like that. So I did that in the bathroom. Pain was just getting worse and worse and worse, and I was just getting scared because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the hospital. I'm all the way on the other side of the country. Like, what the hell? So I go back to my mom and I'm like, Mommy, we need to go to the hospital. Like, this is happening fast. And this was in between, like, from the first time that my leg started hurting me to me finally saying, like, you know, I need to go to the hospital, like, right now. That probably was between, like, 10-15 minutes. So So then we was like, all right, let's go to the hospital. So we went to the hospital. It was me, my mom, and her husband. And I think they went outside to look for parking, or my mom went to look for parking when Patrick and her husband came inside with me to register. So I'm at the window, you know, registering, giving the front desk lady my name, all those things. And the pain just got crazy to the point where I couldn't even stand or walk anymore. Like, it just got that crazy. So they ended up bringing out a wheelchair, and basically I had to be in a wheelchair. So you know, I went to the back. I was in the ER, and the doctor came, and they're not used to seeing sickle cell patients in that area. It's like the community is mainly Hispanic. Was it Hispanics?
Yeah.
Hispanics and white. And although Hispanics they also do stuff from sickle cell crisis, I guess he just never saw it in that area. So he persisted to ask me, you know, what is my usual treatment? Like, what do they usually do for me back home, like in New York? So I told him, you know, usually they give me IV fluids, they give me pain medication and whatnot. So they gave me pain medication, they were giving me IV fluids, you know, trying to control my pain, but it was just so bad. It was just really bad. And the thing about it is that I was fine earlier. Like, we went out sightseeing, bowling, karaoke. I was perfectly fine. So it's like going to see someone perfectly fine to just in crippling pain. So anyways, moving fast forward, so they were giving me treatment, trying to control my pain. Eventually, they end up coming to me and asking me, you know, hey, do you want to be admitted? Because it's getting later. We need to know what you want to do. Like I said, I really didn't want to be in a hospital out of state, especially being admitted. So they got my pain under control a bit, to the point where I was able to walk a little bit, but I was still underneath pain, but I was able to walk a little bit. So I ended up telling them, listen, I want to go home, back to my mom's house, and I'll see what happens there. He ended up writing a pain medication script, you know, for me to get from the pharmacy, and hopefully that would have worked. Got home maybe 30 minutes later or an hour later. Mind you, by time now it's probably 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. The pain just comes back even worse, like 10 times just crazy, just with a vengeance. So I told my mom, hey, we gotta go back to the hospital. Like, she didn't even get a chance to fill my prescription, nothing, because it was too crazy, it was too painful. So we went back to the hospital. They ended up admitting me. And to be honest, I don't know, like, I know bits and pieces of what happened while I was in the hospital in New Mexico, but they had me underneath so much pain medication. And mind you, I've been under a lot of pain medication previously for my past pain crisis, which was pretty heavy medication, but they were giving me a lot of pain medication, maybe a higher dose. And I don't remember too much. I only remember bits and pieces. But Patrick was there like the whole entire time. He slept at the hospital. So I'm going to let him tell you guys, you know, the rest of the story from, you know, me being admitted. And yeah.
So, we're in the hospital. The doctors are like calling other doctors, calling other states, like, look at her blood results. They're high. Certain things were low. Certain things just didn't add up to them because they never seen it before, because they really never seen sickle cell patients in that community before where we were at. When they had her admitted, they were giving her like heavy medications just to keep her body, let her body rest, and you know, hopefully things, you know, will work out on its own. Heavy fluids every minute. I think every half an hour to an hour she was getting like a potassium bag, which they call a banana bag. It's like a yellow bag full of like all good vitamins that your body needs if you're going through something. In the process of this, I'm sitting down, I look real lost. Picture being somewhere you never been before, you don't know anyone, and you just looking around like, what to do? What should I do? You know, and that was me. In the process of all of this going on, I'm like, you know, trying to be highly supportive of her. And I'm like, you know, listen, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be all right. Don't worry. She's like, I ruined our first vacation together. I'm like, don't worry about that. Things happen. just, we just need you to get healthy again. Process of all that going on, the night that she did go, when she did go there and she had clothes on, not clothes on, the night that she did go there and they sent her home the first time she went, it was literally like 5 minutes. Like, I didn't even get my socks off and I heard, oh, we're going back to the hospital again. And I was like, okay, let's go. Get there, the doctor is like, listen, he comes in a room, he tells me like, oh, she has lupus.
No,
now,
leukemia.
Leukemia. The doctor says that she has leukemia. So it's me, Malika, and her mother, just the three of us in the room at the time. So me and Malika's mother, we all look at each other like, the hell he talking about? We like, he don't know what he talking about. Malika's mother, if you guys ever get a chance to meet her, the sweetest person you can meet in this world. She's like, Patrick, we gotta make a move. I'm like, I'm with you. If you know me, I'm always down to make a move for the better cause. So I'm like, listen, Doc, we gotta get her back to Brooklyn where her doctors know her. They know how to treat her. Her hospital, that she goes to here has her records. They know how to deal with her crisis. So the doctor was like, I understand you, but right now she can't be moved because of her condition. I was like, is there anyone I can speak to? Anything we could work out? He's like, let's give it 2 or 3 days. Let's see how her body takes to the medication that we're giving her. And we're gonna figure things out. Now we were coming up on a process that we were gonna miss our flight. And I was like, I can't miss this flight, can't miss this flight, can't miss this flight, because I also had to get back to work around that time too. Didn't care about work, just wanted to make sure she get back to a doctor. So we get there, the next 2 days pass, Malika's stepdad comes in, he's like, Patrick, you have to go home and get some rest. I'm like, no, I'm good, don't worry about that, I don't need any rest, I just need to stay here with her, make sure she's safe. Everyone's like, Patrick, you have to rest, get home, come back to the house, get some rest. I'm like, no, this is what you can do. Go home, bring my suitcase here to me, and I got the couch, and the couch became my bed. So we're there, we're trying to figure out, how to get her back, what's the best method to moving her. The airlines was really great. They accommodated us with everything we needed to get her back home. The doctor there was also great. The doctor told us that what he's going to do, he prescribed some medication, some pain medicine for her to take on a plane ride back to New York. We get to the airport. We had to drive from our location all the way to Houston, Texas, just to catch a flight out. Now we had to go through TSA. She couldn't stand up. If you ever know how TSA is, they will make you vex, knowing that if you can't do something, they will say do it so you can get on a plane. Like, they made everything so much difficult for her than it would normally be. And again, you can clearly see in this individual's face that they're not feeling well. So I would really say, like, TSA, if you're watching this, fix that. So in the process of all of that, they're like, oh, stand up. She like, oh, she can't stand, she's in pain, she's sick, she's not feeling well. Oh, she needs to do this. I'm like, oh, she can't do this. We're going back and forth. So the lady's like, oh, she needed, if she can't stand in here, we're gonna have to body search her. I'm like, listen, do what you gotta do so we can catch this plane, because I need to get her to her doctor. So they come with the little magic wand, they feel all proud of themselves going with the wand. Nothing beats on her, boom. So we running now, not running, but she's in a wheelchair. We have the people that assist you in the airport with the wheelchair, they're pushing her. They're even running with her in the wheelchair to try to help us catch the flight. We get on the plane now, we're out of Houston. Now we had a 3-hour layover in Chicago, which is like one of the world's largest airports. It was like running in there, I was like, okay. I'm like, wait, hold the plane, we coming. Missed our flight. Next flight comes in, probably like 30 minutes. We waited for another flight comes in. So we get here, we get to JFK, I call her brother, he's picking us up. I'm like, yo, John, I need you to get here right now, pick us up. He picks us up at the airport, and I'm like, John, this is what's going on, I need you to drive. Great driver behind the wheel, he's like, skilled at it. Got us from JFK back here. I'm on the phone calling EMS like, I need you to come pick us up. That was like my whole part. And when we get into more of the story time, it gets crazier.
Yeah, because
crazier from there.
Yeah. The second part of this video is actually going to be about how I almost died from sickle cell, and that part you have to stay tuned for because it just gets extremely crazy. So my little take, the little bits and pieces that I remember from the hospital in Deming, I do remember eating a little bit. I lost majority of my appetite though, because being underneath all that pain medication, just everything going on, my appetite was just gone.
Yeah.
When they told me I had leukemia, cancer, I just felt, I was like, what? Like, I thought me going through this crisis and everything was just already the end. Now on top of that, you want to tell me I have leukemia? Like, so I started breaking out crying. Like, I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, me either.
And maybe the last thing I also remember was looking over, and I saw Patrick laying on that broken recliner chair with the blanket on him, and my mom and her husband telling him, you know, come, you know, go back to the house, you know, just freshen up. You come back in the morning. And he was like, no, he's not leaving my side. He's going to stay here. He's not going anywhere. So that was amazing.
Well, thank you.
By my side.
And she had her own private room, so that was the only reason why I was able to stay there. And believe it or not, that room, her hotel room, her hospital room was better than most people's houses. Like, it was huge. Like, it was really nice. So
yeah, and I remember bits and pieces from the airport. I couldn't walk out also. I was being escorted throughout the airport in a wheelchair. I was pushed onto the airport to my seat in a wheelchair. Like, it was just really bad. I remember I got a little bit of sleep on the plane, and when I opened my eyes, I did see the New York City lights. And then got home, like Patrick said, called 911 when we was on our way. They came, got me. I said, you want to stay tuned. Stay tuned for part 2, because it just gets crazier. It goes from what, 50 to 1,000. Like, it just gets crazy. It goes from,
just to give you a sneak preview of the part 2 of this part 2 trailer. It goes from me being kicked out the hospital, from me getting into it with the nurses. It goes into nurses being fired and sent home. So you just picture anything you can imagine going down. It went down. And I mean, it didn't go down in the DM. It went down. It didn't go down, baby. It went down. Trust me.
Yeah, it was really bad. So, like I said, you would think it would get better from here. Now that I'm back home and I'm going to be in a hospital here where there's better treatment, but no, it was really bad. So stay tuned for part 2.
Stay tuned. Tune back in and watch this. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's gonna open up your eyes to some things that when you have someone in the hospital or they're going through this, what to do, what not to do, and how to do it.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, comment, and stay tuned for my next one. Bye.